Where we at right now?
We
We're
are
right
here in Charlottenburg.
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 Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
between Zoologischer Garten and Wittenberg Platz.
Okay.
It's a very central area. Brandenburg Gate. You can go until here, the Brandenburg Gate, walk through the Unter and Linden, and through the Museums Island, and then to Alexanderplatz to see the TV tower, and then go to Prenzlauer Berg. I find it very.
And you said the best way to go around the city is through metro trains,
Yes,
transportation,
the
right?
Public transfer is very
Otherwise, you're gonna walk over hour, right, from one place to another.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Berlin is the capital and largest city of Germany. The population is more than 3.85 million inhabitants, make it the European Union's most populous city.
Sleepless nights and headache stack, restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe.
Before Silvera begin to show you round, when you plan to visit, there are a few things you shall consider. Berlin is not an ordinary city in Europe. It is not only a tourist city, but a convention destination worldwide. The city's official marketing agency, Visit Berlin, reported that in the first 6 months of 2023, approximately 5.7 million guests traveled to Berlin. They spent around 13.8 million overnight stays in the city's hotels. So, if you want to maximize your experience and time in Berlin, let me give you 2 important tips Silvera will share on this video. First, reserve online all the attractions you want to visit in advance, especially all the state museums on Museum Island. And government buildings requires advance registration and proof of identity on arrival. The second is the best way for tourists to get around Berlin and visit the major sites is to take an hop-on, hop-off bus tour. And don't forget to grab a map at your hotel so you can familiarize yourself with the city. Straight ahead is Wittenbergplatz station. It is one of the oldest U-Bahn stations in Berlin, opened on March 11, 1902. On your left is the Protestant Church of St. Matthew, built in 1846. State Parliament. Topography of terror. Straight ahead to the left is the Air Service Berlin Welt Balloon. During the Nazi regime, many government buildings were situated here on Wilhelmstrasse. Many of these buildings have been destroyed during World War II or were subsequently demolished. Here is the former border crossing checkpoint. Charlie is one of the most important and most visited sites in Berlin.
I hear this street, the Soviets and Americans, they confront each other with tanks. And
At the height of the Berlin crisis in 1961, American and Soviet tanks faced each other here. The 2 superpowers were tank to tank, but both Presidents Khrushchev and Kennedy agreed to withdraw the tanks to avoid the World War III. Gendarmenmarkt Square. It is Berlin's most beautiful square, and the site of 3 impressive buildings, the German Cathedral, the French Cathedral, and the Konzerthaus. The eventful history of the Gendarmenmarkt can be traced back all the way to the 17th century. Friedrichswürder Church was the first neo-Gothic church built in Berlin. Since 1987, it turned into a sculpture museum. The Humboldt Forum Museum. It was once the former home to Prussian kings and German emperors. It was damaged during World War II. The palace was demolished and replaced by the Palace of the Republic. It was officially opened to the public on July 20th, 2021. This was a €680 million project hosted by the city's Museum Island. Today it is the largest cultural development in Europe with 40,000 square meters.
Hey Jay.
Hi,
The Humboldt Forum is an amazing museum.
everyone. This is my friend Charlotte.
Why don't you and Silvera take a break for now and hop off on the next stop?
Are you going to help me guiding?
No, silly. I will push the bus instead. Sure, I will guide them from here.
Okay, thanks Charlotte.
Just don't think, Jay. Can I talk about what Bonaparte did with the Quadritas statue on the Brandenburg Gate?
Please no. I will explain it to them later.
6 things you probably didn't know about Berlin. Number 1. Berlin is home to 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Number 2. Berlin has more than 150 theaters. It's the only European city that can boast of more museums than the number of rainy days. Number 3. The world's largest Universal Museum is under construction on the Museum Sensel in the center of Berlin. Number 4. Berlin has more canals than Amsterdam and more bridges than Venice. A total of 1,700 bridges. Number 5. Berlin has 173 train stations. And also it has the largest and most modern crossing station in Europe, Hauptbahnhof Station. It has 2 levels and 14 platforms. Number 6. Berlin is older than Germany. Berlin is 800 years old while the German Empire was only founded 149 years ago.
Now it's time to hop off with Silvera or he will get lost.
It's interesting. Look, here you can see the tower.
That's the famous TV station tower, Berlin. Right in front, that's the Neptune fountain. When I went to Italy, I stayed at the city of Neptune, and you see the original monument. It's smaller than that one. This is bigger compared to the one in Italy. When you come to visit here in Berlin, you know how to speak German. A lot of people here speak English, so you just have to be patient and try to find the right person. So every time that I stop, ask people questions, especially the immigrants, they're very, very helpful. So we're gonna go right now see the Museum Island. That's where I want to see the Babylon Gate. History says that the Germans recovered that during the excavation. The Babylon Gate, built by the King Nebuchadnezzar II.
The Museum Island is a complex of 5 buildings. The Goltes Museum, the Alte Nationalgalerie, the Pergamon Museum, the News Museum, and the Boat Museum. The 5 museums, built between 1823 and 1930 by the most renowned Prussian architects, represent the realization of a visionary project and the evolution of the approaches to museum design over this seminal century.
We're gonna try to check out several places here inside 4 hours. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to make it, but let's go see.
The inscription on the front reads, Friedrich Wilhelm III founded this museum in 1828 for the study of all kinds of antiquities and of the liberal arts.
Man, this building is big. This is the island, the museum island. So, and the museum that we're looking for, it is the one that has the Babylon wall and a stray hat. We're gonna go over there.
The exhibition in the Pergamon Museum features full-scale reconstructions of architectural monuments from Greek and Roman antiquity. The main attraction is the Pergamon altar, built between 180 to 160 BC, and Ishtar Gate, Babylon.
We're gonna go inside the Pergamon Museum. That's the line here to buy the ticket. If you don't get online, yeah, there's a little line here. It's 11:25.
Well, that was a bad experience. I bet you all were excited to see the Pergamon Museum inside. But Silvera decided to buy the ticket at desk, and after have waited more than 30 minutes, they told that all the tickets were sold out.
That's Dimitri.
Yes, I'm Dmitry Железняк. I'm from Ukraine, but I'm here in Germany because everybody knows what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. So I'm here with my beautiful wife Oля, Berlin. We are in very center of Berlin, and this street, the name of the street, Unter.
The boulevard Unter den Linden is the most famous avenue in Berlin. It links numerous Berlin sites, landmarks and rivers. It is Berlin's oldest avenue, named after the lime trees Linden. Unter den Linden was the heart of Imperial Germany. During Berlin's golden age in the late 1800s, this was one of Europe's most elegant boulevards.
So what's the name of this monument right here?
Silvera, this is Frederick the Great Monument. He was the King of Prussia from 1740 until 1772. Under his leadership, Prussia became one of the great states of Europe with vastly expanded territories and made a major military power on the continent.
It's, by the way, central river of German capital, Spree.
The Spree is the main river of Berlin, Brandenburg, Lusosha, and the settlement area of the Sorbs, who call the river Spagia. The name derives ultimately from Sproiten to spring forth.
Not like,
Yeah.
Mississippi, but
Mississippi River. Oh gosh, yeah.
in war, but was not rebuilt in many years in period of socialist Germany. And especially this church was rebuilt like you saw in Warsaw. by pictures, by plans. It was not destroyed absolutely, but some parts were destroyed, and some decorations was lost. But after they start serious program of rebuilding, they and everybody was happy.
I guess every time that we had a war, somebody Poland. I was reading about Poland also. Poland was a big state,
Yes.
and from 11th century, Poland started going through all these wars and start losing lands
Yes,
to different
yes,
countries,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Today, Poland, the size of Poland is 75% of California. So that's the size of the Poland. It's 75% of California.
Yes, it's
So-
big enough territory, big enough country.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about modern Poland, many people in Germany remember that big territory from Germany after the war was moved to Poland. And before end of war, before all this situation, hundreds of years, cities like Wrocław, it was German city Breslau. Polish city Gdańsk, it was German city Danzig.
Oh yes, that's
And,
the name come from.
And German people remember about that. They don't cry about that because they understand that in present world it doesn't matter. If you are German, you can go to Gdańsk or Wrocław and buy the house there and live there. Nobody cares about
Yeah.
that. But
As we are here, still here in the front of the church, let me ask this: do you plan to go back to Ukraine?
I don't know.
Only God knows, right?
Yes, only God knows. It's hard to say.
All right, we're gonna stop right here to check the Brandenburg Gate.
The Brandenburg Gate was commissioned by the Prussian Emperor Frederick William II in the late 1700s. It was designed by Karl Gottfried Langhans, architect to the Prussian court. It was inspired by the monumental gateway at the entrance to the Acropolis in Athens. Its original name meant Peace Gate. For a time it divided East and West Berlin. But now it is an icon of peace that has shaped German identity throughout its turbulent past. In 1806, the quadriga, the sculpture of the horse-drawn chariot on the top of the gate, was stolen by Napoleon's soldiers and taken back to France as a victory trophy. But after Napoleon was defeated, the quadriga was returned to Berlin in 1814.
As you pass through the gate, you see right here several restaurants on the right and the left, hotels. So that's a good location if you want to stay near most of all the landmarks. That's a good location to stay. This gate now is a symbol of unity and peace. I was talking to some people here, and they say that nobody here mentioned Hitler, and then they feel really shame for about what Hitler has done. Not only he has done things bad to the Jews, but from every people from all over Europe. Right in front of the U.S. Embassy. That's amazing. It's right here. The memorial to the martyred Jews of Europe. That's a big memorial. We're gonna check this. This is a memorial to honor all the Jews. And I'm recording this video right here to the Jews all over the world. Some of you cannot come here, and I'm sharing this experience with you. And for me, it's an honor. Estou aqui na frente do memorial de todos os judeus que foram mortos aqui na Europa. Engraçado que esse memorial aqui está construído aqui bem na frente do cônsul americano. I don't know, you see all these people sitting right here in the memorial.
Holocaust was the systematic state-sponsored killing of 6 million Europe's Jewish men, women, and children and millions of others by Nazi Germany and its collaborators during World War II. The Germans called it the final solution to the Jewish question. We can't deny. We must never forget the fate of millions of Jewish people.
É bem chocante você chega, você vê esse memorial aqui. Vou te falar, é como se tivesse lembrar a chacina que houve contra todos os judeus na Europa durante a Segunda Guerra Mundial. Pode ver aqui. É muitas. Né? Acho que toda vez que o alemão acorda de manhã, que tem que passar por aqui andando e olha para o lado direito, vê esse memorial aqui, fica com uma vergonha imensa. E isso é uma grande prova que guerra não é bom para ninguém. Eu acho que o que mais destrói é o que vem depois da guerra, os anos que passam, as pessoas reconstroem as vidas novamente e você vê seus filhos aprendendo isso na escola, que aconteceu isso na escola, principalmente aqui na Alemanha. Para eles, eu acho que essas crianças crescem aprendendo isso e ficam um pouco também envergonhados também. Mas isso também é uma lição para que uma lição de amar mais, de evitar o ódio, ajudar, uma lição de humanidade, de ajudar um ao outro. Eu acho que esse símbolo aí realmente demonstra isso. This is for all the Jews in the world. that are not able to come here to check in Berlin this memorial. I'm sharing this with you. Shalom Adonai.
Hi, you guys are back.
Yeah,
Did you go up on the TV tower?
no, Silvera was scared.
I don't blame him. Did you see how fast it is? 203 meters per second.
But we went to see the Museum Island, the Berlin Cathedral, the Brandenburg Gate, and the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe.
What Silvera is looking on the map?
I think he wants to go see the Berlin Wall. Why don't you come along with us?
Let's do it. It will be 2 stops.
You seek liberalization. Come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, right here, that's the remains of Berlin Wall. Right here, separates the East from the West. Used to. Now it's history. See right here the marks on the floor. That's the marks from the wall that was built.
The Cold War was a pivotal era in United States history. It was the bitter battle between the United States and the Soviet Union. That started immediately after 1945.
There you go. We're gonna pop in and the boss again and go to check the other part of the wall. Right in front of me, right here. That's the other part from the Berlin Wall.
During World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union were allies, but their relationship was tenuous. The United States was suspicious of Stalin and his communist government, while the Soviets resented the fact that the United States did not assist the Soviets in a timely manner. When requested during World War II, the Soviets blamed the deaths of millions of Russians on the United States' delay. Tensions increased between these two superpowers, and the two countries grew to distrust each other. The Soviets pressed forward with their plan to take over the world with its communist ideologies, and the United States pressed forward with plans of containment, a policy to keep communism from spreading to other countries. The relationship transformed into a bitter standoff that lasted from 1947 to 1991. This period was characterized by a series of events that would bring the world to the brink of war and potentially lead to the destruction of the world. Despite the fact that the United States and the Soviet Union never fought each other directly, their political and ideological influences were the source of many conflicts during the Cold War era.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.